Hello, everyone. Good evening. It would be great if we can have some highs, good evenings. Let's wait for a couple of seconds more and then we can start off. Hi. Hello, everybody. I hope I'm audible and clear. If I am, you could probably give a thumbs up. Well, it is a YouTube live event. You can talk to us through the comments, your questions or any suggestions or anything that you want to interact with us. Please do post because it's a YouTube live. Just waiting for some more people to join in and then we'll kick off the event. You're welcome, Samad sir. Thanks for joining today. We'll probably wait till 7:05 and start off. Hi, Shravan. Welcome. Hi, Bhavin. Good evening. Thanks for joining. Just a few seconds more, guys. Thank you for waiting patiently. We'll start off. All right, it's 5 minutes from 7:75. Let's get started. Hello, all. This is Rashmi Maitri. We have organized a Rasa meetup from Rasa Bangalore and Chennai chapters. Yes, we've been dormant for a bit, but planning to pick it up and start going all guns. This is our first collaboration together and a webinar where we will be talking about what Rasa 3.0 beholds. So, a quick gist: Rasa 3.0 has some changes, and one of the major changes is that it is introducing the graph architecture. So, in previous versions, the training pipeline resembled a sequence of components, but now it's going to be a graph instead of a sequence. That is extremely a major change, and it has helped and is going to help a lot of developers. First thing, it's going to make caching possible, because we've had issues where we had to train the whole thing all together if there were, like, small changes, but now that it need not be done. It is going to be taken care of. Rasa is going to be more customizable, and also it's going to be easier to understand. After that, we do have slot mapping improvements, and we are going to have our Rasa hero Dishant, who is going to talk to us about slot mappings, and also an experimental feature called as markers, which will be taken by Vishnu Priya, our Rasa hero Vishnu Priya. So I think we can get started. um Vishnu, hi, how are you doing?
Hi Rashmi, hi everyone. Good to see you all. Thanks for joining the community chapter meetup. This is the first meetup that we are having, which is a combination of both Bangalore and Chennai chapters. So thank you so much for joining. So let me start off with the markers. Let me share my screen. I hope my screen is visible. Yeah. So I'll start off with firstly, I welcome you all to a fun learning session. This is going to be really fun in the sense that we are not going to concentrate more on the nitty-gritty or integrities of it, but we'll definitely get to know what is happening in Rasa 3.0. That's different from the other Rasa versions that we have. So firstly, I'll start off with the overview of Rasa 3.0. Rasa 3.0 has really upgraded itself in the sense that it has a lot of major improvements that has been focused on. Um, to start off with, we have something called slot mapping improvements. Even the feedback that the community gave to the Rasa team, or even ourselves, the developer community, we heard about is that the slot mappings have been really confusing, and in the sense that when we go for forms, there needs to be duplication of code in Rasa 2.0, and there is also some unexpected behavior in slots. So that has been handled really well in this release, major 3.0 release. A more detail into that will be given by our friend Dishant in the next session. Coming to the markers part, I'll be sharing with you the update regarding the markers. Mostly markers is an experimental feature. We'll be discussing that later. Coming to the architecture revamp, this is one of the things that has set Rasa 3.0 apart, in the sense that if you see the general working of Rasa, how it goes is you have something called pipeline for the NLU part, and have policies for the dialog management part. And the way that it has been handled till now is that it has been a pipeline structure, a sequential structure, with the tokenizer, featureizers, and everything goes in sequential way. When coming to the architectural revamp, what has happened is that the sequential way of machine learning in Rasa has been transformed to a graph-based architecture. So in the sense that we would have heard about something called DAGs, which separates components based on nodes. And one major advantage that this would offer in terms of Rasa 3.0 is that we can customize our architecture in the sense that whenever we don't need training of a certain component, it will be stored as a cache. And whenever there is only a particular component that needs to be trained, only that is trained, leading to an end result in resulting in reduced training times. So as far as the developer perspective is concerned, we don't need to change anything in the code part. It's just that the developer experience has been improved here with respect to the architecture revamp. Coming to the prediction metadata, previously the models that we trained using Rasa, it was somewhat given as a timestamp and a random name. The model name was a bit random. But for example, what the prediction metadata has improved now is that we have a naming similar to, if you're familiar with Kubernetes or Docker containers, you have naming structure which will kind of make it easy for us to differentiate between models. So that has been introduced in this Rasa 3.0. For the OR slot values, to explain that a little better, what OR slot values does is that if we look at this story, there is a story which is giving, in the slots, we have something called, let's say we have a bot which wants to differentiate between paid and a free plan. So usually we used to write stories in the sense that we have to, a single value had to be set for one story, to write a story. But here what we can do is that we can combine multiple values. For example, we can have one single story for a free plan, and we can have one single story for a paid plan, which can be any one of these three slot values. So that's where the OR slots come into structure here. So this is also one of the major improvements. Coming back to markers. Markers, as I mentioned before, is an experimental feature. Why markers have been implemented is that usually when we want to evaluate our assistants, we usually do it in ML terms, like we calculate precision, F1 score, and all those things, and we see how a bot or an assistant performs. But we also want to have another method of evaluation where it should be task specific. For example, let's consider a bot taking subscriptions. The bot developer or the owner definitely would want to know how many people have subscribed and how many people have not subscribed, something like that. So that is the task specific evaluation that people are expecting in assistance today. So this markers helps in bringing out the task specific evaluation KPIs. Task specific evaluation KPIs can be anything. It can be either a task is a success or a failure, like I described before in terms of a subscription bot, whether the subscription has been taken by the user or not taken by the user. It can also include a dialog completion. It can include a sequence of steps to be performed. For example, once the user gets a subscription, which one is he preferring? Is he preferring the gold, premium, or silver, something like that? We want to analyze the complete sequence of it. That can also be done, the dialog completion. And human handoff. Coming to human handoff, there can be certain cases where a bot cannot solve a user query. For example, if you're going for a banking bot, you might want to have a different bot for finance, a different bot for loans, something like that. So you can also create a bot handoff. You can see how it performs using markers. And you can also have something called a human handoff. You can hand off directly to a human when a bot is not able to answer with different integrations like Slack or MS Teams, like that. So this can also be specified using markers. So main thing to note here is that markers is an experimental feature, and the Rasa team is very well known for taking the feedback from the community and improving upon it. So the reason that we are covering this here, though it being an experimental feature, is that we want the community to try it out and let the Rasa team know, as it kind of improves the customer experience. Because when you evaluate task-based KPIs, you can be sure where your bot is performing and where your bot is not performing. So I think this is a really important feature, and based on the feedback, we can also see it becoming a permanent feature in the future. Let's go once now that we know how what markers are and what is the purpose of it. Let's go to a little sneak peek of it. So for this, what I have done is that I have prepared a bot, a meetup bot. So this kind of does two things. One is that it informs the user as to what are the meetups that have been scheduled, and it also says whether it also gives a feature for RSVPing on behalf of the user. So if you see the flow, the once the bot greets the user, what the user would say is he would definitely want to know the details about the upcoming meetup. And once the bot is asking for the groups here, just to make it simple, we are covering only the Chennai chapter, Rasa Community Chennai chapter, the Rasa Community Bangalore chapter, and both. If you want to something where the events can be combined, both the chapters events can be combined. And one marker we are trying to say here is that is the user really interested in this bot? We just want to know that if the user is really using this bot, or if the user just quits by if the user is really not interested. We can know that by saying, if the bot if the user says not interested, then we can mark it's not interested. If the user is interested, then we can also mark that way. The other marker that I'm going to cover is that if the user is interested, then the bot is going to ask, I have found one upcoming meetup to be scheduled at 7 p.m. today. Would you like me to RSVP on your behalf? So this is kind of guessing if or marking if the user is really interested in RSVP. If the user says yes, then the bot asks for the name, and once the name is given, then it should say that I have RSVP'd on your behalf, and then the conversation should end. If the user says no, then the bot should end the conversation gracefully, like this, and then it's just a goodbye intent that we can use to end the conversation. So the markers that I'm going to cover here is that if the user is interested in the bot, and if the user is interested in bot and is also interested in RSVP. So for that, one thing that we have to do here is that I have already created the basic files like the NLU file, covering all the intents here. If you can see, to know the details about the meetup and to choose the meetup group and to kind of provide the name. So I've covered these three intents, which will cover the basic flow for us. And I've also written stories, which will govern the dialogue management flow for us. So coming back to the markers part, once we are done with creating a basic chatbot, what we're going to do is that we're going to create a marker file. So in the marker file, if you can see, just a second. Am I okay? Yeah. So if you see here, we can see that I have given two markers. One is that the marker user is interested in the bot. Here, what I've covered is that I've covered a sequence of steps where I'm saying that once the user is expressing his intent to know the details about meetup, then the bot should utter something like this. Let's go to the domain file and see what that is. Yeah, so then the bot should say, then the bot should ask for which of the groups is the user interested in. And once the user says that he is interested in some group or the other, we mark this conversation as a success, saying that the user is interested in the bot. So here I've covered something called a sequence where I'm seeing the entire sequence should be satisfied. That is, firstly, the user should ask about meetup, then the bot should ask if which group he's interested in, and then the user should choose a group. So I've covered the entire sequences. This is one marker that I've covered. The other marker that, as I discussed before, is that he should be interested in the bot, which is like he has to choose the meetup group, whether it's Bangalore chapter, Chennai chapter, or both, and he also has to affirm his his intent to RSVP. So once the meetup group is chosen, what happens is that the bot will say, "It's awesome. I found a meetup to be scheduled today. Would you like me to RSVP on behalf? And the user should affirm saying that yes, he is interested. So these are the markers that I've covered, both the markers. So once I get the markers.yaml done, I've also done a Docker compose here just to follow the best practices. So once we have the markers file ready, we should have a tracker store because that's where our conversations are going to get stored and the markers are going to fetch the details from there. So for my purpose, I've connected to a Postgres Docker and I've also up the Docker compose and yeah, I've also trained a model inside the container. So once we are ready with this, let's do this. So Rasa shell is the command which will help us in interacting with the bot. Okay, I should go to the Okay, so I should go to the root directory and then I should run Rasa shell. I already have a model ready with me. So if you see the prediction metadata part that I had mentioned is that you get a good name here, which will help us to differentiate between the models. This was not there previously. So once we run the Rasa shell, what we are going to do is that we are going to try two flows. The first flow is going to be the user is interested in the bot, and the second flow is going to be the user is interested in the bot and also interested in RSVP. Since the user getting interested in the bot is a common here, so we are just going to cover one flow and see how that goes. Let's see. So the shell starts the Rasa server where we can interact with the model, and once the model gets ready, we can start our flow for the markers. So till this is getting ready, what we can do is that what happens when we have the evaluation done. So when we have the evaluation done, we have three files that are generated. One is the out.csv, which will kind of give us details about the current session that we are running on. And we also have stats overall, which will cover all the sessions, the session that we are running on, and also the other sessions that have used this model. And we also have stats per session file, which will cover the particular session. So let me start my conversation. I'll just start with a hi. Yeah, so the bot is welcoming me here. So I'm looking for meetup.
Vishnu, I'm sorry for interrupting.
Okay, so it is asking me which groups am I interested in. So I'll just say Rasa Chennai chapter.
Vishnu?
Okay, so it says that there is an upcoming meetup that is scheduled today. Would you like to RSVP? So the flow that I want to check here is that the first flow has already been checked. If you see, the first flow was telling me if the user is interested in the bot. So if I don't choose anything, if I don't give the chapter here, and if I say no, then that means that the user is not interested. So the first flow of the marker is getting covered here. Now coming back to the next flow, I'm also interested in the RSVP. So I'll just say, okay, since I've confirmed that I'm interested in RSVPing, it's asking me my name. So I'll just give my name. Okay, so it says that I have RSVP'd, the bot has RSVP'd on my behalf. Just a second. Rashmi, did you by any chance ask me to stop?
Sorry, Vishnu. It's just that we were not able to see the code because of the image. So if you could clear the screen and then you could start from the top, that would be good. Rasa shell, we could not really see the commands. You able to hear me, Vishnu? Vishnu, you there? Hmm. Okay, I think she has connectivity issues. I'm so sorry. Vishnu?
Okay, sorry for the interruption. I just got to know that my screen was not visible for a long time. So, just a quick wrap up. What we have done here is that we have specified two markers. The first will tell us whether the user is interested in the bot, and the second will tell us if the user is interested in the bot RSVPing on behalf of them. So, what we have done here is that we have started off the Rasa shell, which will contact with the Rasa server, which will help us to contact with the models and get the predictions. So here, if you see, I have this flow here covers the first marker, which is that when I say hi, the bot is asking me what I'm looking for. And if I say that I'm looking for a meetup, it says that, which of the groups am I interested in. So once I give the Rasa Chennai chapter, this is the sequence that has been covered here, right? I've chosen the meetup group. So one marker has been covered here. And coming to the next marker, the bot now asks me if it can RSVP on my behalf. And here I have given that yes, it can. So this, since I have agreed for the bot to RSVP on my behalf, it has asked me for my name and I've given my name. So then the bot now tells me that it has RSVP'd and it will see me on the stage. So I'll just conclude the conversation gracefully. Yeah. So this is one. We are since we are running out of time. I wanted to show another example as well, but let's stop with this. So once I stop the conversation, what I can do is that just a second. So I can since I already have these files, let me delete it first. Okay, so now for evaluating, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to do Rasa evaluate markers all, and the config file for this will be in the markers.yaml. This will refer the markers file, and the output I want it in out.csv file. So this is going to generate the statistics for me. So the more I'm interested more in the stats per session and the overall stats. So these are the stats per session that I'm getting. The more thing I'm interested in is this count. The min, max, mean, all these are something that is statistical. But I'm more interested in the particular marker and the count of it. So if you see what's happening here, let me also open the stats overall as well. Okay. So now we are done with the sneak peek of what's happening. So let me go through this in detail. So in detail, what we had seen is that we can set event conditions here. That is, if you see in the markers.yaml, here we had set conditions for intent and action. We can also set conditions for forms, that is whether a particular slot was set or not. We can do that, and we can also set the negated forms of it. That is when we can also find out when the user has not RSVP'd, something like that. So not action, not intent, and the slot was not set can also be seen here. And with respect to the operators, the one that I've covered here is the sequence part, where, as I mentioned, the entire sequence should satisfy for me to get it marked. Otherwise, it will not be a successful marker. But we can also have something like this. We can have a particular and or conditions, and we can also have at least once. We can see if the user has RSVP'd at least once for a chapter or not. We can also see when a user has never shown interest in RSVPing, something like that. So coming to the marker output, if you see here, you have the sender ID. Sender ID, since this is stats overall, we have it as all. Let me go to the stats per session. So the sender ID is something which will uniquely identify me, since I'm the one that have used this. This is my ID, and the session ID is the session that I'm running on. Since I've been running in the same session, we have only one session being covered here overall. And the marker here is the RSVP success, and we also have the RSVP, the user interested in bot here. And coming to the value, we see something called the number of preceding user turns here. Number of preceding user turns is nothing but how many times have I taken to come to a particular marker. For example, to come to this marker, I've taken 2 turns. That is, I've pinged the bot 2 times. So that's the number of preceding turns here. So these are the statistics that we get. This is regarding the stats per session, and this is regarding the overall stats. So, concluding this marker session, what I want to mention here is that this marker feature adds value, especially in the sense that what I see here as a developer is that I can connect this markers to Streamlit, and I can plot graphs like how many users have actually RSVP'd and how many users are not interested. When we arrive at a task-based metrics like this, we can actually say how our assistant is performing, because most of the chatbots are being introduced for to solve some business value. So this marker experimental feature, I think, will bring some value when when we send it to some observability, or as I said, when we look at some graphs on Streamlit, we can get an idea of how many users are interested in what. So this covers the markers part. For some additional resources, there is a excellent blog that's written by Rasa, and we also have something called the markers in detail. This is a discussion on the markers part. So I've attached the links. You can go through that. A quick recap of what we have done. We have seen what Rasa 3.0 offers, an overview of it, and we have also seen how and what markers solve here. In our case, which is an experimental feature. The thing why I am mentioning this again and again that it's an experimental feature is that based on the feedback, this can also become a permanent feature. So, and the team is always looking for feedback from the community. So I will definitely encourage all of you to try it out. And we have also had a sneak peek into the code. Sorry for the disruption in between, but I hope we had some of the understanding of how actually we get to code this markers part. Finally, thank you for attending, and I'm always available through my LinkedIn profile. You can just scan the QR code and you can contact me. Please let me know your feedback as to how the markers work and what we are going to do, how you are using it, and please also let your feedback know in the forums. Yeah, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Any questions, or I'll hand it over to Rashmi.
Thank you, Vishnu. Thank you for the very good session on markers. It's a very interesting feature. To be honest, I think everybody would resonate with the same too. So, having said that, if there are any questions, please shoot on the YouTube live comment section. While we wait for questions, I would like to say that please tweet with hashtag Rasa Live, and you will be actually able to win some cool swags from Rasa. Any questions? Okay, I assume we don't have any questions. All right. Now we will move to another Rasa hero, Dishant. Thank you, Vishnu. We'll move to another Rasa hero, Dishant. He has his own YouTube channel where he puts a lot of stuff about Rasa, how to work with that, interesting stuffs, and he's really active, with the help on Rasa. And let's have him here. Hi, Dishant.
Hey, hi, am I
Hello.
audible?
So
It
Dishant's going
seems you
to
have
talk to us
connection
about
issues.
slots. Yeah, there's a little bit of lag.
Yeah, no issue.
Okay, cool. Dishant is going to talk to us about slots. The floor is yours, Dishant. Take it away.
Thank you so much. Let's start. So, is my screen visible? Yeah, yeah, it is. So, let's talk about Rasa 3.0 slots. There were slots previously too, and 3.2 and other versions of 3.2. So, now we'll be looking at what there's new for us, like what we can use in there, and also make sure to use hashtag live and tweet it on Twitter to enter the giveaway. Okay, let's start. So there are different types of slots. We all know about it. Most of you who have done beginner courses would be knowing, and also who follow my channel. So there's text, float, categorical, boolean, and any. I forgot about list. Yeah, so list is also part of it. And then what's new with the slots in 3.0? So there is slot mappings, custom slot mappings, and mapping conditions. So we'll look at three of them, and also in the code how they look like. So let's look at them. What are slot mappings? So inside the slot mappings, there is type of slot mappings. We have used all of them except the last one, where there's custom one. We can build our own customizable slots. So from intent, what is from intent? The from intent part is where you can specify the intent which should be triggered, which has been triggered, and the value which the user says, let's say affirm, where the user says yes, so it's been captured. Or from entity, you might have used duckling or crf or any other entity extractors, where you are capturing the values which user provides in their sentences, and that particular value has been added inside the slot. So it's from entity, and you have to provide the entity name. And then there is from text. So in the from text, it will capture whole thing which has been sent via the message. Like, let's say if you take an example, it's I am Dishant. So the whole sentence I am Dishant will be captured in that particular slot. In the custom one, you can customize the behavior, like you want specifically something from that particular sentence, or you want to use it in another way, like fetch it from the data and then fill the slot like that. We'll be looking at it soon. So next part is map slot. So how we were mapping previously and what it was afterwards. So this was the previous part where we we were adding the all the mappings part in the form itself. So it was really cluttery, and most of them were duplicating it. Like, let's say for the name part we are using the from text, and then there is email where we are using from entity. So these all things were kind of repeating. I know that if we want to use that particular slot from different entity, we want to capture it in another way, but there's also a different way to achieve it right now, and the forms will look like this. So there's no cluttering, and there won't be any confusion and duplication right there. So let's move ahead. How to add a slot mapping? So how we'll be adding the slot mapping? Here are four versions of it, where we are checking the float one, where I'm adding it from the entity, which is number, which is captured via duckling. And the second is email, which is directly added from text, and the text will be directly captured in there, as I said previously how the text one works. Other than that, there is name, which is obviously text, but we have customized it. How we have customized it, I'll show you in the custom action part. And there is confirm details. Here we will be using from intent. Here you can see the from intent part, the value is yes, then the intent is affirm. Then for there is another value which will be no, and the intent is deny. So like that. And the next part, how forms look like, I already showed you, but I kept it specifically because it's good to know that there is a lot less code to write in here. So let's have a look at custom slot mappings. So let me show you my code. First, let's have a look at how it looks like really in this. Let me share my screen again so it's visible. Just a minute. Is it? Rashmi, can you please add it in the main screen? Thank you. So right here you can see the slot, which is number and its float, and mappings is type and type entity and the number. Number is being fetched from the duckling entity extractor. And then there is email, which I showed you previously. This all things I have showed you, you can just revise it from here. And now let's have a look at forms. So forms are right here. This is how the forms looks like. And now it's time to have a look at actions. So inside the actions, I have added three actions. First one is for validating custom slot mappings. In here we are validating the custom slots, where this particular function right here will be run multiple times. Whenever the user message something, it will be run. So it will try to extract name from it and set the slot from here. So to show you guys how it works, I have added this particular code where it checks inside the names. So this is a simple list where I have added list of names, and it will be able to check if the latest message is inside the names. Is if it's present, then it will also print the name for the debugging purpose, and it will then return it in the name slot. And make sure to use validate action to inherit it, not the action part, and also not the form validation action. Okay, just to make sure it. And then there is predefined slot. Predefined slot are the slots which are already defined in the domain right here, and they have something as text or mappings, some kind of, so like that. So in here, for the email, I'm not using duckling entity, but I'm using email pattern from here. And from the email pattern, I'm using the regex. That particular regex will search inside the slot value if any email is present or not. If it is present, it will add it inside the email slot. If it's not, then it won't. Just like that. And as you know, this is the form, and it has validate function, so this is also a part of validating the slots. So this was already there, but the previous two were not there in the previous version 2.0 or 1.0, like that. So this is what currently all the validation functions look like. And also one more thing I would like to show you guys is how you can use the actions for your custom slot mappings. So right here you can see this custom actions. So if I go to Rasa Docs, just a minute. You can also add your questions in the comment sections or the live chat and the YouTube. Okay, and the custom slot mapping right here, is it visible? So yeah, now if you add a custom right here, you can also specify which action you want to trigger at that moment. So if you want any particular action to be triggered at that moment, you can use it. And make sure this any inherits action class and not validate action or form validation action. And other than that, there is also one more thing that has been added is mapping condition. So let's have a look. Oops, I forgot. Yeah, so let's have a look at mapping conditions right here. In the mapping conditions, why I didn't add it in my code, there's also a particular reason I'll be telling you guys. So in this particular condition, you can provide which form, at which form you want it to be filled and which form you don't want it to be filled. Actually, there's just one particular condition as which form you want to fill it. Okay, so when let's say there is a form, your form, and the requested slot name, which is the slot name itself, at that particular moment it will search for that particular slot inside the sentences and it will be filled. And in another form also it will do the same thing. Let me grab some water. Yeah. Yeah, so in the other form also it will look. And why I didn't add it, because this you should specifically use if there are multiple forms, or if there is just one form you want to fill it from, you shouldn't add it, because we already are validating it inside our forms. So yeah. And other than this, there's also one more thing I'd like to show you guys, which is just a minute. Initial values, you can also add initial values. And the autofill part, which was part of 2.x, has been removed. So there will be no autofilling in the slots, so there is no issue with the slots that get autofilled, or sometimes you are the form is active and the user said something which is matching the intent of or entity of that particular slot, let's say name or email, it will get filled inside it. Or the number, you might be knowing about the number conflict with the amount of money, that won't also happen because the autofill is not present in here. So yeah, and here is the summary what we have talked about in this. There are slot types, slot mappings, and custom slot. So this all things we have talked. And if you have any doubts, add them in the live chat. I'll be looking at it. Okay. Hi everyone. I just checking the comments. And have you guys tweeted hashtag Rasa Live? Make sure to add the screenshot because I'll be doing the random raffle. Okay. If you have any questions, add them here. I'm waiting for you guys. There might be
Thank
lag because of YouTube. YouTube provides really slow response to this. So make sure you add your comments in there. Huh? Hi Rashmi, welcome back.
Hi again. Thank you, Dishant. That was a very informative session. I loved your deck. It was very nice and sleek. I'm sure whoever is here have some questions. Please shoot. Do not hesitate.
Let me check if anyone has tweeted or not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There are people who have tweeted.
Yes.
There are.
Yeah. Do you think it's a good time to do the Twitter raffle?
No, let's wait for more. I'm new to Rasa development. I'm chatbot UX. It was great presentation. Thank you so much. If you're a UX designer, I would recommend you to use Bot Society. It really helps to design the flows actually. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Let's wait for more people.
Sure.
Also, Lucy, should I call you Lucy by the way? Because there you said you had tweeted, but we can't find your tweet. Make sure your tweet has been posted.
We have another question from Samvatsar, or
And
rather, he says that
okay,
he's interested in custom components.
custom components, yeah. If you really want something like if there are multiple things that you want to capture in the, let's say, from the user perspective, like if the user is providing multiple things at once, then you should really try using custom components. Or if there are multiple entity extractors that are getting conflicted, or you want to build your own multilingual model, so at that moment you can use it.
Any other specific questions? Okay, Dishant, do you think we should do the live here, one raffle here, and then we move on to the raffle in Twitter?
Sure.
Okay. So whoever's here, if you can quickly type hashtag Rasa on the YouTube comments.
Can I do it?
No, just hashtag Rasa would do.
Hashtag, oh, there are some, yeah, so many people like Rasa Community Bangalore, and there is Rasa Life. Wow, so many people.
Okay,
You
just
can spam.
hashtag
You can
Rasa.
spam the live chat. Spam it.
Totally. Okay. Only Samvatsar is here.
And
Okay,
then
yeah.
Lucy has
There's
also.
Luciana
Yeah.
as well. Okay, we have two contenders who are going to get the. Do we give them the swag or the book?
What do you guys want? A swag or a book? Add them in
One,
the comment section.
yeah, one giveaway is the swag, that is merchandise from Rasa, and another giveaway is
Rasa book.
conversational AI book. Yeah, Rasa
Yeah.
book. So
Oh, that's
swag.
swag.
Okay.
Just one. There will be delay. Yeah, YouTube provides so many delay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Emily is here. Hey, Emily. I need swag. I have too many swags. See here, this is the bot from L3I, and there is this hoodie which I'm wearing. There are multiple things. If I could show you, I could show you. My desk is full of stickers. Like right now, it's not actually directly from Rasa,
We
but
have Emily here.
yeah.
Hi,
Hey,
Emily.
Hi, Emily.
A special thanks to Emily from the Rasa team. She's here to just give us positive vibes and give us a thumbs up for this and encouraging us to start off with 3.0. She is on her vacation and still she's made time to come here and be with us through the chat. So if you have any questions, please shoot. We'll either one of us will take it, or if it is directed to Emily, she will be able to answer on the chat for us.
By the Samvatsar, there is not actually the migration part or a blog for specifically for Rasa 3.0 from 2.0 to 3.0, but I'll share you the link for custom graph components because there is actually the graph components now. Previously, there wasn't a graph architecture, so you might have to do it uh, like they have specified. But it would be good if you join the office hours of Rasa, they might be able to help you out in this.
Yeah, so Rasa conducts office hours. I think it's on Wednesdays, if I'm not wrong, at 9 o'clock. So all of you can join, and all the videos will also be there on the YouTube channel. So you can there's some interesting things which are shared over there, so you can totally look at that and get more information.
Hmm.
Thanks, Emily. Thank you so
So yeah,
much for joining, Emily, amidst your vacation. It really is is fantastic, and we appreciate it. Thank you. All right, do you think it's a good time to do the raffle here?
sure, let's do it.
Yeah. All right, let's just I hope you're able to see the thing. Okay, let's start collecting the comments. Right, there are 5 entries, so
Oh
I'm doing
wow,
the draw. Okay,
who is the winner?
let's see. It's gonna show. All
Oh,
right.
that's great. Lucy, you
Luciana
won it.
gets it. Luciana wins a swag from Rasa. Congratulations, Luciana. Thanks for joining. Please do connect to us on LinkedIn. I'm Rashmi Maitri or Vishnu Priya or Dishant Gandhi on LinkedIn, and we'll be happy to send it across to you.
Yeah, I'm sharing my LinkedIn profile link if you want to DM me.
Yes, we will do that. Um, okay, before we move on to the Twitter raffle, do we have any questions for Emily or for any of us regarding Rasa or anything? Oh, congratulations, Luciana, again.
Can we show the comments on a screen?
Okay.
Is it possible?
She
Oh,
says thank you.
yeah.
And Emily says she's very glad to join and she's so happy that we are all here for the meetup.
Everyone who wants their comments to be on screen, comment here.
All right. Again, any more questions? If not, we can quickly move on to the Twitter raffle. Dishant?
Yeah, sure. Just a minute. Just share it. Thank you so much, Lucy. Is my screen visible? No, it's not. Actually, your screen is visible. Yeah, that's right. Can you move our images to this side or that
Yes.
side?
I think I'll just will not have the images right now.
Sure, sure, we will. We'll do too much promotion next time.
Absolutely, Samvatsar. We hear you. We will definitely have more promotions and not have the meetup around Christmas or New Year, so that more people will join and are not, in vacations. Totally. If you
Any
have any
topics?
suggestions or observations, please feel free to, messages, talk to us. We are available. I'll share our LinkedIn profiles. Yeah.
Also, if you have any topic you would like to suggest in the for the next meetup, you can definitely add them in the live chat. We'll look into it, and also for the videos too on the Droid City. If you have any friends you want them to win, tell them to tweet. I'll wait for 2 minutes. If you have any friends, tell them to join here, tweet with the screenshot, and let's see. Yeah, sure. Thank you so much.
So Emily says we'll promote the next meetup up also whenever everyone is not on vacation. Thanks, Emily.
Join us. So should I start? Should I
I
send
think
the
you
request?
should. Yeah, I think you should.
Okay. Guess it's not me. No, it's me.
You
It's
should
me.
do it
I'm not.
again.
Yeah, yeah. Just a minute. Who is this? Let me
Okay,
find
let's
this
see who that
ID.
is.
Let me find this ID on Twitter. Second. Oh, like, let me check on Twitter itself who has tweeted it.
I think it's Prasad.
Let me see. Can I have I shared my screen? Wait, let me share the whole screen itself. Is that visible?
Yes.
Yeah. So let's see who has. Okay, it's Prasad. Let me zoom in. So it's Prasad who has won a giveaway, the second giveaway.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Prasad. Thanks for tweeting.
So
Um,
Rashmi, what they will be getting?
okay, so Luciana wanted the swag, so we'll give her the swag. Prasad, if you're here, do you want the book or the swag? Not sure if he's there.
If you're not there, you will be getting book.
All right, I don't think he's here. But anyway, congratulations, Prasad. I think we'll try and get in touch with you to give the giveaway. And Dishant and Vishnu Priya, I think I'm just going to take a call and give another um, giveaway, whichever. I mean, we can to Samvatsar because he's asked us questions and he's given us feedback and he's been active throughout. So Samvatsar, congratulations. We will be giving you a giveaway as well. Thank you so much for being involved in this and staying throughout this session.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And also add your LinkedIn profile or Twitter profile here so we can reach out to you.
Yes. Anyway, I have added the LinkedIn profile of all the three of us. So please do check and connect to us. give us feedbacks, and we'll be very happy to conduct other many more sessions, so that we can be more in touch with each other. We can do more meetups, involve more people, propagate Rasa, and take the flag of Rasa ahead. um yeah, if we have, you still can ask us any questions. If you have, we would be very happy to answer.
We still have time.
Yeah,
Ask us.
ask away. Okay. All right. I think, what do you say? Should we wind it up?
Sure. Then see ya, guys, on Droid City.
Thank you, everyone who all have joined. Thank you so much. It means a lot to us, that you took time and joined, and also, listen to us. I really, really hope you can talk to more of your friends, and, the next time we have more strength, definitely. And we will make sure that the meetup is not going to happen around a vacation. And we'll have more interesting topics to talk about, and more raffle and more goodies your way. Thank you so much for joining. Again, Emily, thanks a lot for being here. Happy vacation. And thank you everyone for joining. Dishant, thank you very much for the great session.
Thank you so
Vishnu,
much.
thank you so much for the great session. Keep in touch, guys, and have a great night. Thanks a lot.
Bye bye. Merry Christmas.
Bye bye.